Hi everybody, it's Mr. Gray here. Thank you again for another really great week. A few announcements off the top. Number one, your students have been doing such a great job with the state tests. So they're working really hard and trying to do their best and also being really respectful to their classmates. Everybody takes a different amount of time during the tests, and so they're stuck there for an extended period of time, and they're doing quite a good job of being able to work at their desk reading. We have a little after work packet, drawing, things like that. So they're doing a really nice job. It's a compliment to all of them for being really respectful to the rest of their classmates. That will continue next week. We have taken 3 of the tests. On Monday, we'll do a little bit of makeups for students who missed a test or 2 during the week. And then we will take the second ELA test next week, as well as the science test, which is only 5th grade takes that. 5th grade, 8th grade, and 11th grade take that. So then we'll be finished with all the tests. We might do some makeups on Friday. And as long as everyone has finished at that point, then we'll be all done. It's possible the makeups could go into the next week. After that, we'll just have to see how it goes. But I think we should probably be pretty much finished up at the end of next week. And the next announcement is, I talked about last week, the bowling day that's coming up on Wednesday, June 5th. The 2 things about that are that the school ends at 1:40 on that day, but our actual field trip will go till 2 o'clock at Irvine Lanes, and then we'll get kind of finished up and put the shoes away, and we'll get outside and we'll take the bus. We should be back to school about 2:45 that day. So there is a link on the updates page, also our homework page that I was showing students. If you haven't signed up, please sign up, and then also the cost of that for the students is $10 per student, and that's taken down from $25. It actually costs about $25 per student, but 5th grade had already raised some money, so the cost is much lower. And by sending in that donation, you're really able to help offset the cost and encourage us to do field trips in the future. So you just send in either like cash in an envelope with your students or a check made out to Santiago Hills Elementary School. So that would be great. The next day, June 6th, during that last week of school, is field day. And that'll be all 5th grade will be out there playing on the fields all day long. There will be a sign up page where parents can either bring equipment or help volunteer at a station or bring food. And so we're kind of working on that right now. And as soon as we have that ready to go, I will send it out as soon as possible. We're just finalizing a couple of things. So hopefully you can help out with that during the last week of school if possible. As far as what's going on next week, it's the same as this last week. We're a little bit interrupted by state testing. There's not an incredible amount of time for things, but we still have lots of things that we're working on, and we'll continue to try to use our time the best we can and get the most out of our time and learn a lot during this last month or so of school. We're in the home stretch now. I think it's just 5 weeks left. So we're going to begin kind of a fantasy unit. I'm going to be reading out loud the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And as I'm reading that out loud, I'll be pointing out kind of the fantasy elements that make fantasy different from other fiction titles. Fantasy is a type of fiction, but it has kind of special things about it. So while that's happening, the kids will be reading fantasy books and kind of keeping track of some of those things and tracking those elements in their own books. For writing, we'll continue our information unit. The kids are working on a information paper that teaches about a topic related to the American Revolution. They've been researching, and now we're going to add a couple more elements. Specifically, we're going to draft a little mini fiction story, a little mini narrative that will go inside of their information paper to help, pull the reader in and really picture the situation better. And that might be all we have time for. It's just that one thing next week, but we'll continue to add to that as we go. There's no particular math next week that we're doing. We might get into something, but I'm not 100% sure yet because of the timing. In social studies, we're talking about the Constitution and the earliest form of government. The kids are going to hopefully start on a poster project which shows the power of the Constitution. And we started talking about the Bill of Rights this week, and we'll also talk about some other amendments or just what amendments are next week. The kids will go to Science Lab with Mrs. DeMarco. We'll continue practicing analogies. Many students are working on a leadership project. The kids are working on or participating in an in-class Jeopardy tournament, which will take us to the very end of the year. All the students are in the Jeopardy tournament. The questions relate to all the things that have happened during 5th grade this year, which is really fun. And so we've already had 2 games, or we've had 1 game, and we'll have a second on Friday. And then we'll have 2 or 3 games a week until we get down to a class champion at the end of the year. That'll be really fun. we'll play with our buddies next week, and then the students will start on Chit Chat number 4. So they'll find out on Friday what the topic is. It will probably be the most fun and entertaining one of the year, so that'll be really exciting. So there's a lot of things going on. As always, you can email me if you have any questions or concerns or thinking about anything as we get toward the end of the year, but it's moving fast now. I think I said this before, but the end of the year goes really, really quickly. And, we're already into the second week of May, and we only have 1 week in June. So things are moving fast. So with that said, I hope everyone has a really great weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.